Hi there friends, welcome back to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Alan, and today I'm happy to announce that we're finally starting our coverage of the 4th year of the Clone Wars. In our last episode, we sort of did a recap of the 3rd season, so if you guys want to check that out, just to have a little bit of a reminder of where the galaxy is at. Also, we started a caption contest on our Facebook. Don't forget to participate and vote for your favorite caption, because the winner gets to be featured on our show, and we'll also send them a special prize. When talking about the Clone Wars, the romantic image we think of is the brave Jedi General charging into the fray with lightsaber raised, followed by legions of loyal and fearless clones. This was the reality on many battlefields, but the war wasn't just grand campaigns and large planetary invasions. No, there were regular everyday men and women fighting in planetary defense forces, defending their homes and livelihoods, mercenary captains balancing fortune and death, and smugglers of every kind trying to make a profit somewhere in between the battle lines. But there were also lesser-known individuals, unsung heroes who at first glance might not seem like war hero material, but that might be exactly why they're so well suited for a certain type of mission. Meet Colonel Gascon. He was a military strategist serving with the Republic Strategic Command. He had helped plan the Grand Army of the Republic's invasion route during the First Battle of Geonosis by collecting intel on the terrain so that clone units could know what they were facing. They were mostly facing flat terrain with zero coverage, and they also had very inexperienced Jedi generals. It was a terrible situation from the very beginning. Anyway, Colonel Gascon is a male Zikin. He's too small to even develop a Napoleon complex. He's barely a foot tall. His personality, however, makes up for some of that height. He's quite a bombastic individual. He took his job extremely seriously, and he always held his own accomplishments and abilities in high regard. Despite his tiny size, he also didn't take gruff from anyone. He demanded all of the honor and privilege his title afforded him. The Jedi High Council had a very special mission that was perfect for someone like Colonel Gascon. The Jedi were routinely intercepting high-level communications between General Grievous and the Separatist Command, but the CIS had encrypted all of these messages, and so far Republic intelligence was having a very difficult time cracking them. The Jedi realized the only way they could crack this code was by getting their hands on a decoding module. This is sort of like the Enigma machine, which was deployed by the German military during World War II. It was an extremely high priority for Allied powers to decrypt German codes. One of Poland's early contributions to the war was actually developing methods to crack this code and then creating a replica Enigma machine and bringing them to Allied forces before Germany and Russia simultaneously invaded their country. The Jedi Council had figured out that one of these decoding modules were being held on a Separatist Providence-class dreadnought in a high-security vault. Any overt attempt to capture this ship would result in the Separatist alliance blowing up that ship, which would prevent the Republic from grabbing that decoding module. So what they really needed was a special infiltration team. The Jedi would assemble a team of 5 droids: R2-D2, QT-KT, U-9C4, M5BZN, and WAC-47. All of these droids would be specially modified for this extremely dangerous mission behind enemy lines. M5B7, a R4 series astromech, had its memory core completely removed from its head compartment. This was to make room for Colonel Gascon, the only Republic officer small enough to fit inside of a droid's head. He would lead this unit, designated DSquad. Using a stolen Separatist transport, DSquad would infiltrate the Separatist fleet. WAC-47 took the initiative to set their ship on a collision course with the bridge of the target dreadnought. This immediately causes tension between Colonel Gascon and WAC-47, but before they could settle their dispute, the Separatists grab a hold of their ship with a tractor beam and pull them into the hangar. All 5 droids are seized by Separatist battle droids and brought away for interrogation. R2-D2, who sort of is the wily veteran of the team, takes the initiative and disables one of these B-1 battle droids with his arc welder, while WAC-47 distracts the other battle droid, which is also quickly taken out. DSquad is now alone and unescorted inside the dreadnought. They make their way towards the vault, which is located on C deck. Using the astromech special skills, they manage to break through the security and enter the vault. Unfortunately, along the way, M5B7 is knocked out by a power surge. But before the squad can get their hands on the decoding module, they're interrupted by the ship's command droid and a squad of security droids. A melee breaks out as R2-D2 disables the gravity on the ship, sending everyone floating off the ground. The Republic droids manage to make quick work out of the Separatist droids using their new upgrades. Even Colonel Gascon gets into the action. With the module in their hand, DSquad quickly evacuates to their shuttle. They even manage to retrieve M5BZ along with them. While celebrating their mission's success and newfound respect for one another, DSquad runs into some more trouble when their ship flies into a large cloud of comets in hyperspace. Their Maxillipede shuttle takes multiple hits and the power is disabled. R2-D2 and the astromechs have to go outside the ship to repair the damage. Luckily, R2-D2 is a master at these type of extravehicular missions, and the repairs manage to restore some of the power so they don't get destroyed by a massive comet. The shuttle manages to limp its way towards the nearby wasteland planet of Abafar. It crash lands onto the surface. With their shuttle now out of commission, they must find their way to civilization on foot somehow. But without any stars or sun to aid them in navigation, they must just wander in a straight line through the desert. Fighting off madness, thirst, hunger, and low power, DSquad eventually stumbles upon their salvation, a small town known as Panzora. The hope here is that they might be able to somehow find a way to get off planet and get back to Republic space with that data encoder. But without any credits to their name, none of the locals are willing to help Colonel Gascon. When they enter one of the local eateries, they find that, like many establishments in the galaxy, droids are unwelcome, but so are diners without any money. So instead, DSquad must scrounge for food in the trash cans in the back of the restaurant. Luckily, one of the workers is kind enough to come out and offer Gascon some food. The worker's name is Gregor, and despite all of his hair and a thick beard and mustache, Colonel Gascon immediately recognizes Gregor for what he is, one of the million clones who served the Grand Army of the Republic. Gregor seems to be confused by this revelation. It seems like he has suffered some kind of injury that has also given him amnesia. Gregor doesn't remember much about how he ends up on Panzora, and so he confronts the diner owner, who's unwilling to give him much details. We find out eventually that Gregor is not only just a clone trooper, he's actually an extremely elite Republic clone commando. These were specially augmented clones who were designed to fight in small squads behind enemy lines. They were even tougher than the elite ARC troopers like Captain Rex. R2-D2 scans Gregor's wrist and finds his identification number. He was a captain in the Clone Commando Regiment and was labeled missing in action during the Battle of Sarish. This was one of the earlier battles in the Outer Rim Siege and one of the most devastating losses the Grand Army of the Republic had suffered during the war. Gregor's squad, Foxtrot Group, was completely wiped out during the battle. As commander of the unit and sole survivor, Gregor attempted to escape off the planet, but then would crash land on Panzora and suffer amnesia from the crash. Once Gregor retains his memory, though, he and DSquad confronts the diner's owner and recovers all of his armor and equipment. Clone Commando armor is amongst the most durable pieces of kit given to Republic soldiers. It can take multiple blaster rounds while protecting the wearer. The DC-17M interchangeable weapon system is a modular weapon with multiple configurations. It can be useful for long-range encounters and even has an anti-armor mode. Gregor will need all of his equipment if DSquad is to be successful in their mission. It turns out the Separatists have an operation on Panzora. They're mining the planet's rhydonium, a very volatile substance that can easily be weaponized. The Separatists plan on using that rhydonium to blow up a Jedi cruiser up in orbit, DSquad's only way off the planet. Gregor gives DSquad cover as they attempt to find a ride off the planet. Despite the heavy incoming fire, the Clone Commando is able to take out multiple Separatist patrols, allowing DSquad to make it to a shuttle and escape. Gregor is left behind and surrounded by enemy droid forces. He manages to set off several rhydonium canisters, which destroys the entire compound. Whether he survives or not, well, you'll have to find out by watching the Rebels Star Wars series. DSquad attempts to contact the Republic cruiser before boarding it, but they can't seem to connect to anyone. When they enter the ship, they find it completely empty. The bridge, however, is occupied by a crew who turn out to be holographs. Seems like the Separatists weren't just going to blow up this Jedi cruiser. They had captured this cruiser and now filled it up with rhydonium explosives. They were going to use the Jedi cruiser to infiltrate Republic space and then blow up the Republic Strategy Conference being held in the Carida system. This meeting would be attended by the Jedi Council and several high-ranking Republic officers. DSquad find that the ship is also occupied by Separatist droids. They must avoid their patrols and at the same time disable the bomb before it wipes out everyone on Kurita Space Station. They find several other surviving Republic droids in the shuttle bay, and with their help they manage to figure out a plan. But before they can escape, they're swarmed by a huge pack of buzz droids. R2-D2 manages to create a perimeter around the Republic droids with a ring of oil and fire, but DSquad is in danger of getting overrun. M5BZ realizes that there isn't any time left and runs for the airlock and opens the shuttle bay doors, which sucks out all of the buzz droids, but unfortunately takes M5BZ out as well. This heroic action buys DSquad enough time to alter the bomb trigger so that the ship detonates prematurely, saving everyone in the conference. Colonel Gascon and the droids manage to make it off the ship on a shuttle. Unfortunately, R2-D2 is left behind near the bomb trigger. But as usual, the lucky droid does manage to survive, and a salvage team finds him floating in space. For his role in the mission, Colonel Gascon gets exactly what he wants: a promotion to Brigadier General. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button down below so you don't miss out on the rest of this series. Thanks for joining us today. If you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.